longest ruling Chinese dynasty. It was from 1046 to 256 before the Common Era. The Zhou dynasty made significant cultural contributions to agriculture, education, military organization, Chinese literature, music, philosophy, and social stratification, as well as political and religious innovation. The culture that established the nation for almost 8 centuries enabled the development of the arts and Chinese philosophy. And if you have heard the wise saying of Confucius, he lived during this time. Next, we have the Qin dynasty. The Qin dynasty was the first dynasty of imperial China, and it lasted from 221 to 206 before the Common Era. Imperial China started with the famous founding emperor Qin Shi Huang, who conquered and united 6 kingdoms to gain control over China. The Qin dynasty standardized currency, measures, writing, and literature. Known for their advanced weaponry development, various styles of swords and crossbows were developed, which further strengthened their strong military status. The founding emperor developed plans to fortify his northern border to protect against invasion. And the result was the initial construction of what later became known as the Great Wall of China. Now we move to the Han dynasty. The Han dynasty was the second imperial dynasty of China. It spanned from 206 before the Common Era and is considered the golden age of China. To this day, the majority of Chinese groups are considered Han people, and the Chinese written language is known to have Han characters. The types of clothing worn and the materials used during the Han dynasty depends on social status. This dynasty offered more freedom to its people than in previous to the Qin dynasty. And there is also tremendous growth in the economy, philosophy, social order, and religion. The Sui dynasty was from the years 581 to 618. It was brief with only 2 reigning emperors, but it managed to unify China after 400 years of separation between northern China and southern China. Sui means to follow. People in this dynasty were very loyal. Culture and art flourished during this time. During this dynasty, block printing began, and the Grand Canal was constructed, as well as improvements made to the Great Wall of China. Was the second largest and longest enduring dynasty of Chinese history, from 618 to 907. It was also known as the only dynasty that had a female emperor in Chinese history, known as Empress Wu. She reigned imperial China for 15 years. The Tang Dynasty was considered the golden age of cosmopolitan culture. Music, dance, and art became influenced by Western traditions. Clothing became more lavish and brilliant through bright colors and vibrant patterns. Was from 960 to 1279. Point finding started in the Song Dynasty, and about 40 to 50% of young girls would have their feet bound starting at age 4. They did this because petiteness and small things were considered beautiful and had high status. Women also during this time began using hairpins and combs in their hair, putting in flowers. Long scarves, fans, and umbrellas were also being carried, and women began wearing embroidered silk shoes. Lasted about 270 years, from 1368 to 1644. At its peak, the Ming Dynasty made China a global superpower, influencing the known world in trade and culture. From the early period, the handcraft industry in the southern areas developed rapidly, and notably, porcelain made the industry reach an unprecedented level. The blue and white Ming Dynasty porcelain became one of the first global items that you wanted to purchase. The Qing Dynasty, is also known as the Manchu Dynasty, was the last imperial dynasty of China, ruling from 1644 to 1912. The Qing Dynasty was ruled by Manchus instead of the Han Chinese, and they descended from a horse-riding nomadic people in northeastern China. The most interesting clothing items are the embroidered shoes, while the bottom has a wooden sole. Manchu women do not bind their feet, and the most a Manchu woman did may have been to wrap their feet tightly to give them a slender appearance. The Manchus invented their own type of shoe that caused them to walk in a similar swaying motion, and the shoes were called a flower bowl or horsefoot shoes. It is a platform generally made of wood, which are 2 to 6 inches in height and fitted in the middle of the sole. The women in the imperial court by status will wear the flower bowl shoes and walk gracefully around the palace grounds. Many of the customs related to the traditional marriage and weddings in China were formulated during the Han Dynasty. The groom's family would bring gifts, and the bride's family would provide a dowry. which signifies the union of the two families. And presents pure beauty. And now I'd like to present all of our dynasties to come out to the front of the stage. Let's give them all a round of applause. This beautiful clothing that everyone's wearing and representing the dynasties. Again, there's 83 different dynasties in Chinese culture, in Chinese history. However, we're representing 8 of them today. We have the Chao dynasty, the Qin dynasty, our ancient wedding couple. And on the stage we have our porcelain beauty. If any of you would like to take a picture